Hello, gamers. Welcome back to another episode of the Cuddlepunk podcast. I am your host, the mastermind, Veronica Vext. With me today, she is an absolute legend of the Chicago scene. You have seen her all over the place with her band Sincere Engineer, and you can see her coming up this summer with Newfound Glory when Newfound Glory tours for the 20th anniversary of Catalyst. Deanna Bellos from Sincere Engineer is here. Deanna, how you doing today?
Good, how are you? What's up?
I'm doing great. This is fantastic. Let's start off talking about the Newfound Glory tour that just got announced yesterday. You're going to be
Yeah.
going with them basically from like July through till September.
It's September to, August to October, but yes.
August to October, yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys are gonna be going out on tour with them.
Mhm.
What's your relationship with Newfound Glory and with Catalyst in particular?
They were like my first favorite band, so it's pretty crazy, full circle. And that's like the first CD I bought when I was a kid, like for myself. So really crazy. Very excited.
It's crazy how they've been able to like maintain relevance
Oh yeah,
going on.
totally.
Like I remember when I first got to Chicago in 2017, that's when they were doing like the 20th anniversary of the whole band thing.
Sure,
And
sure.
now we're like 7 years later and they're still managing to
Right. Put out new records
get
and they're good and awesome.
they're really like they're very, very good at doing what
Consistently
they're
awesome.
doing.
Yeah, totally. The only thing is it makes me feel really old that it's that record's 20 years old. That's like insane to me, but it was very important to me, so it's like an extra special honor to be a part of the tour.
I've been going through something similar. Like last year, a ton of the records that I grew up loving started turning 10, like Greatest
Yeah.
Generation and
Yeah.
fucking. I got to see, and then I got to see Hotelier do all of
Home is
Home
where.
Like No Place Is There,
Or yeah, yeah,
and that
yeah.
was it's we're both. I think we're both like starting to
Yeah.
turn over to that point where we're like, okay, we're not old yet, but we're definitely like,
Right.
ah, God, these fucking baby bands are coming up and taking us over, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't love it, but it's cool.
You have been signed to Hopeless Records since late 2020, since like September of 2020. I remember
Yeah.
the first day that Trust Me came out. I
That's
watched that video probably like 5 times and sent it to everybody that I knew because I was so it had been a while since I had been that stoked for a band signing to Hopeless.
Thank you.
Was Hopeless like your first choice when it comes to signing to like a bigger label like that?
I mean, definitely stoked to be with them. I didn't think that that was like a possibility at all. They reached out to me and I was like, hell yeah. And I didn't really like look around. I got the email from them and I was like, oh yep, done deal. So but when I got it, I wasn't like looking for like a new label or like shopping it around or anything. So it just kind of luckily fell in my lap and I was like very stoked and honored that they reached out. So and they're like super charitable and stuff too. And I've loved like a bunch of bands that have been on it in the past, so it was like a no-brainer.
I was telling you before this, Hopeless was the label that got me into
Into
music in the
music
first place. So
for sure.
it's so sick. Like I have a controversial opinion that I'm wearing my Tell All Your Friends shirt right here.
Nice.
I have the controversial opinion that Taking Back Sunday has put out their best shit since signing to Hopeless.
I'd have to look. I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan of them. I don't know which records came out on what, but I should do some more research.
Happiness is Onward has all been on Hopeless.
Gotcha. Sick. Yeah, totally. I love them.
They're the best. Again,
Is that your favorite band?
they're not my favorite band. My favorite band is no longer together. They were called Against Me.
Okay,
You
of course.
you and I met at the Laura Jane Grace album release show. How did you end up getting on that show? And then also, you are somebody who does a lot of acoustic shows
Mhm.
for Sincere Engineer. Like even just on tour, it'll be sometimes for the entire tour just you
Sure,
out
yeah.
there with an acoustic. What goes into deciding whether or not it's going to be just you doing an acoustic show or
Mhm.
the entire band coming out there?
It kind of depends on what like whoever's booking the show is asking for or looking for. Like obviously the Laura show was a like an acoustic show. So it wouldn't really have made sense for us to play full band. Yeah, I don't know. So like I like keeping both like projects whatever alive. So when there is like an acoustic show, I can play that or like do acoustic tour and just like keep it like small and intimate. Or when we get offers that are like full band big shows, it's better to have the band because you know, playing like acoustic opener with a huge band is sometimes awkward, but I've done that too. It kind of just depends on what whoever's booking the show is asking for and stuff, and the availability of my bandmates and stuff. So
Of course.
did
When
I
you're
trailed off a little bit? Sorry, did that answer the question?
that child into the listen,
Okay.
the entire point of I tell this to fucking every guest. They're all so nervous about like ranting
Yeah.
and shit. The entire
Yeah.
point of this show is just to have
Chatting.
you guys rant for like an hour. That's the whole point. You don't
Perfect.
need to be nervous about talking too much.
Okay, cool, perfect, awesome.
It's nice to know that even as you've like aged, like as your band has aged out and like gotten out of the like Chicago just DIY scene, that you hold
Yeah.
on to their like insecurities. There's something beautiful about that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm trying, but not succeeding. It's fine.
Talk about the DIY scene growing up and like starting off with Sincere
Mhm.
Engineer, because I got into the scene, the like Chicago DIY scene around 2021 in what I
Okay.
call like the post-pandemic boom of
Sure.
all of these
Yeah.
bands. You were a little bit before that. I think you
Totally.
played
Yeah.
Riot Fest for the first time in like 2019. What was the scene going into before Rumbiathan and everything like
Mhm.
that?
Well, I started playing shows in 2015, and it was like a really cool time because there was a bunch of bands, and like everybody was friends, and there were shows all the time. There was a venue called Quenchers, which isn't there anymore. I don't know. Have you ever been there?
I did not. I don't think
Okay,
so.
yeah, it was definitely yeah, they closed down in I don't even remember, even before the pandemic, I think. But that was like I think it was like an important venue for a lot of people, a lot of artists, because there'd be shows every night, and it was just like everybody hung out there. So I like credit that a lot to. I got a lot of practice in. I'd like write a song and then go play it like the next day there and like see if it worked or didn't work. It was like a kind of like an open mic style for myself. I'm speaking where I just kind of got to learn how to like play shows and stuff. Um, and then kind of took off from there, I guess.
There's a very fly by your seat, like kind of open mic style to even the shows that you're doing now. Like at the Laura show, there was a ton of crowd interaction. You came off very endearing. I want you to
Oh,
know
thank you,
that for sure.
thank
I
you,
was at the
thank you.
Friday show, but you came off very, very well.
Yeah,
That
that was like I played messier but had way more fun at that show. Thursday I was like kind of more reserved and like just focusing on playing everything right. Friday was like, oh, everyone's singing along. I'm just gonna if I miss a chord, whatever.
what was the reaction to that show selling out so quickly? Because I am friends with Calico Loco,
Yeah,
and I interviewed them right before that show.
yeah,
And I know that even before the interview, we were talking, and they were saying like how few people actually ended up being able to get into that
get
first show
in.
because it sold
Yeah,
out so
yeah.
quickly.
Um, I mean, Laura's amazing and everyone loves her. I wasn't surprised that it sold out. She probably could have. I mean, I know she could have sold it out if it was just her. You know.
She's as much Chicago as she is Florida at this point, I
Totally,
think.
totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So definitely like expected it to sell out, and it the first one sold out in like a few hours, I think, or something. I definitely knew like when I agreed to it that it was going to be like a fun night, and I agree there was like people looking for tickets, and there were not. It's like kind of a smaller room too, so it made it harder. But the two show thing was cool.
Where does that ability to like come and just talk to the audience like that come from? I have to assume, I know that Norm MacDonald before he passed said that you guys were a band that he was really into. I feel like stand up
Sort of.
definitely Norm MacDonald, I definitely feel like stand up plays a certain role into your ability to talk to a crowd like that.
For sure. Thank you. Yeah, I like watched a lot of use I don't really anymore, but like back before I got into like playing music, I was like definitely into comedy a lot, and my best friend ran like a comedy showcase and I went to that a lot. So I definitely think it's like in there. I wouldn't say he was like a huge fan. Like I tweeted at him to listen to it and he did, I think. I mean, he responded as if he checked it out and he said he was a fan, so that's cool. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like the nervous, awkward energy that I clearly have, and I just run with it when I'm up there. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna shut that off, play the song, and then it comes back when the song's over.
I don't want this to come off as me saying that you're undeserving of your like the things that have been able to happen to you, because you 100% are. Like the two albums that you've put out since signing to Hopeless
Hmm.
are they're top tier like pop punk for me.
Thank you so much.
It does seem as though you guys, in a very short amount of time, have been able to get some of the biggest, like, coolest experience. You specifically have been able to get some of the coolest experiences ever. Like, I remember seeing video of you singing Casey with the Menzingers. I was at the Gaslight Anthem set at Riot last year when you came out. What's it like to have these people that I'm sure that you have looked up to for years, like, just be calling you up and asking if you can do, like,
Yeah.
either the big tour or just a random appearance at
Sure.
Riot Fest?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I don't, I'm like, always honored and grateful for all the opportunities. Just try to be nice to everyone and like kind of comes back my way, I guess. I don't know.
It feels like that kind of like just trying to be nice and being like a chill person. Like it always works to a certain extent, but people don't seem to think that it does. And they always like none of the bands in the scene that I'm in right now necessarily, but it seems like there's a lot of just bands who kind of just want to be like dick their way through
Sure,
to
yeah, that
success.
sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like you mentioned, like all those people are like my heroes and like inspiration. So like it's insane to me that like we get to keep doing this, and it's like I couldn't ask for like more fitting bands to fit like what I grew up listening to or what I listen to now.
What was the more epic moment for you? Opening for Bleachers at Twisted Christmas, playing with Gaslight Anthem at Riot Fest, or playing the main stage of Lollapalooza?
Oh, that's hard. I mean, I'm gonna answer in level of how nervous I was.
That's great. I love
Because
that.
that probably subconsciously means something. Lala was like probably the biggest thing where we were all like, "Holy shit, how did we get here?" kind of thing.
You were on the fucking Bud Light stage. Like
I know
fucking
it's crazy. And like I mean, it was super early, but like we had a good crowd, and it was very hot. And we had a blast, and it was cool that like the people that do the video stuff for that festival like shot a really nice video, and we all got to watch it together and like critique ourselves. It was very fun. Um, the Gaslight Anthem at Riot Fest was awesome. It was very like magical moment for me because I love them, and like the sun was setting and it was beautiful out, and they're so nice. And
that
then
Sunday sunset
it was
part
beautiful.
at it's specifically that stage. I feel like
Yeah,
that has the best moment for me of every
totally.
single
'Cause
Riot Fest.
it's looking out at the Ferris wheel, and it was like there was a little breeze. It was amazing, just all around amazing. And then not that this wasn't like equal excitement, but Q101's Twisted Christmas was also insane. Um, again, for all of us, I think we all grew up like listening to that radio station, and it was all super fun. I love that. That was our
You got
first
to
time playing
open for the
American.
guy who owns pop music right now.
Totally, yeah, yeah. I didn't get to meet him. I wish I did.
Going back to Trust Me and that first single that you released on Hopeless,
Hmm,
Trust Me is still probably my favorite song that you guys have ever put out. Like, I have never been so easily hooked on a band
that's awesome.
than I was when I heard Trust Me for the first time. What went into deciding that that was going to be the first single for the record and for the first single coming on to Hopeless? Because I don't think you'd announced the record yet. It was just your like announcement single for being
That
on
we signed.
Hopeless.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I think like objectively is like the strongest song on that record. I think that's probably the reason. So
I
it's like
mean,
one of my
I
favorite too. It's no longer my favorite, but back then, obviously, it just made the most sense to do that song. I think.
you are a vet of the Chicago DIY scene. Are there any bands in the Chicago scene that you would like to play shows with or that you've been jamming to recently?
Admittedly, like I listen to a lot of like oldies, and like in particular, like these last couple months. So I feel like I don't have like a ton of suggestions. I mean, Calico Loco was like one of the most recent ones that I checked out because we got that show. And they're awesome. Their live show is super good too. Yeah, I don't know. Can I come back to that? I should. I should.
Yeah, totally. I'll send you a
Well,
playlist and next time you come on the
do it.
show,
Yeah,
we'll have that be a better we'll have like a more like succinct list of everything.
that'd be amazing. Yeah, I like. I kind of feel old now. I don't know. I listen to a bunch of old stuff. I've been like hanging out with the Smoking Popes a lot. They're from Chicago, but they're old. Um, and I just more recently befriended Scott Lucas from Local H. I've been listening to them a lot too, but again, they're kind of older, but they're amazing. So you know,
Being friends with these people, it's this insane thing where that I've noticed while doing this show, that you do get to just become friends with these people, and
mhm.
then you get to hear their new shit, and you're just walking down the street and you're listening to it and you're like, wait, my friend made this, and I could just ask them about
Yeah, yeah.
what they were thinking going into the song.
Totally. Or like, oh, what did you do to record this part or whatever? Yeah. Or where'd you record that? I do that all the time. It's awesome.
It's the
You get
most
like
fun thing in the world.
this behind the scenes look into it. It's awesome.
The last thing I want to ask you about before we head into the bit part of this,
Yeah, yeah.
I was there at Riot Fest 2022. Did you play Friday of Riot 22?
Yes. In the morning.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah. So
the circle K one? Yeah.
you opened up the probably most insane Riot Fest I've ever been to, because that was my chem day where
Yes, it was for sure.
80 to 100,000 people showed up to that
Yeah.
fucking set.
It was
Because of
crazy.
that, you had this huge bucket. No, go on about my chem. Like, what I ooh, actually no, I do want to know about this. Like, what was the reaction backstage at Riot Fest,
Well, like we
like
were
seeing all these people coming in?
yeah, we were sound checking and people running sprinting from the gates. And they like of course went, and it's fine, like more power to them. Like we were on the side stage, or like the two stages next to each other. My chem was on this one, so everybody like flocked there. Then we had some like slowly come in on our side. And I made a point it like during the banter to be like, thank you all. I know you're like here for my chem, but thank you for listening. Hope you like it. We're sincere engineer. It was like I admire the endurance. I could never stand there for 9 hours.
I was not gonna stand at that one stage.
Where do they like pee? I like couldn't make it 9 hours in the sun without anything, water.
That's worse than a Warp Tour date, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's like you have to guard the barricade the whole time. So there's no I don't probably cool about like, can you hold my spot? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. But still, that sounds like hell to me.
That day, I don't know if people were being that nice. That was the worst crowd I've
Really?
ever experienced at Riot Fest for My Chemical Romance.
Did you see Blink when they played? I think it was like 2 years after or before that.
Yeah, I was there. I was in the back for that one. I don't know if I
Okay.
was that crowd. Did that crowd suck too?
That was the yeah, like we were I don't know, maybe like a little toward the like if the middles like wherever we were like a little bit behind that and people were like there's no room to move, but they're like trying to get in anyway and it was not cool. It like there'd be like no space and somebody's head is like next to my nose and I'm like you can't be here. Like this is crazy.
Even as a Skiba era defender, I don't know why people would show up that early. I guess it was because they were playing all of Enema. That makes
Is that
sense.
why? I don't even remember. I was just there for the vibes.
That's fair. But now, during your set at Riot in 2022, your fans decided to put on what is probably the single greatest fan created moment
It
I've ever
was
seen at Riot Fest, which is the corn dog circle pit.
yeah.
What your fans are insane. What's it like to have
Yeah.
that like dedicated level of fandom that just comes up with that kind of shit without
Um
like any band interaction?
It's awesome. I definitely like appreciate the creativity and yeah, it was I had like no part of it, which was like it was like a surprise to me too, so it was super fun. I started crying a little bit when we started playing it. But we knew about it, so it was like we got to play it like soon, like early in the set so people aren't like holding these corn dogs for like a half hour. Um
Totally.
but yeah, yeah, I definitely if you there's like the audio of it and my voice is like quivering because I was like crying. It was super cool to see.
You came off great. I think it went great.
Thank you.
I remember you talking at the Laura thing about like the whole corn dog thing and
Mhm.
how it's like you're trying to get away from it a little bit, which is going to make the
Yeah.
bit that we're doing in few minutes very
Sure, no,
interesting.
I'm not really. I just like acoustic shows in particular, like that. If the crowd's not singing with me, it does not come off great at an acoustic show, in my opinion.
That's
Just because
fair.
it's like a high energy thing, and I don't know. It's probably fine. I'm probably in my head about it, but yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm resigned to being the corn dog girl forever. So
I'd lean into it at this point. Like you gotta like if somebody gives you something, you lean into that shit and see
Sure.
as far
Yeah.
as it'll
Yeah.
take you.
I mean, there's no circle pit for not that. So,
Sunrise Skater Kids is gonna go on tour and there's gonna be a pizza mosh pit.
well, there could be. That's just, I don't know them.
Now there's an idea. Get back on tour, Alonji. Stop trying to help other people. You have confined yourself to being the corn dog girl. I'm going to
Yeah.
help cement that even further. When we come back, we are going through an iconic hot dog moments in pop culture tier list. Deanna's going to help me out with that. We'll be right back with more of the Cuddlepunk podcast. Hey gamers, coming in one more time to please ask that you subscribe to the channel if you're watching this on YouTube and to follow us on any audio platform that you're using. If you are watching the video version of this, if you could also please like the video and leave a comment down below saying what your favorite song on your graduations You're Gonna Miss It All is. This is really annoying, but it does help out the channel a lot when you guys do all of these things. Thank you so much, and now back to the show. Welcome back to the Cuddlepunk podcast. I am here with Deanna Bellos from Sincere Engineer.
What up?
2017, Deanna and Sincere Engineer released their first album, Run Biathan, and the very first song on there is Corn Dog Sonnet number 7. Corn dogs have become an integral part of Sincere Engineer's DNA at this point. And so what I thought it would be fun to do is we're going to do an iconic pop culture hot dog moment tier list. I've selected 9 iconic pop culture hot dog moments, not corn dog specifically, because there aren't too many of those. I guess we'll start off with the corn dog one. Carlos from Big Time Rush and his many corn dogs. I saw Big Time Rush live, actually.
Nice, nice. I remember that show. I think I was a little too old. It was like on the cusp of me. I still watch Nickelodeon now, so I shouldn't even say that.
That's fair.
Let's move on.
You've been on that Quentin Reviews 10-hour iCarly video essay shit too.
No, I don't know what that is. What is that?
Oh my god, this dude Quentin Reviews, he's fucking awesome. He's been doing like these 5 to 10 hour video essays on the like late late 2000s, early 2010s Dan Schneider Nickelodeon sitcoms and shit.
Sure. Yeah.
He just put out his second 10-hour video on Sam and Cat, and he's about to go into the like what a bastard Dan Schneider is now. It's gonna be it's really cool shit.
Quentin who?
Quentin Reviews.
Reviews. Cool. I'll check it out. Drake and Josh was like some of the reason I picked up a guitar.
That's fair. That's fair. That's unfortunate, but that's so fair.
Totally.
Listen,
okay. Anyway.
Drake and Josh got you into music. All Time Low got me into music. We're both suffering here.
Sure. Yep. So what does he do? He eats a bunch of corn dogs?
His whole thing is that he loves corn dogs. When I saw them, my sister brought a sign. My little sister, who's 3.5 years younger than me. This was 2011. I saw them at Kiss concert in Boston. She brought a sign that like had a little corn dog drawn onto it. It was very cute.
That's awesome.
I think specifically because it's corn dog related, we have to put it like a little bit higher. I'm cool with putting this one in B if you are.
Yeah, totally. What's S? What do these all stand for?
So this is like S is the best, D is the worst.
Okay, got it. Cool. Thank you.
Learning that Deanna is a chronically offline queen. I love that for her.
I've never seen this website.
This is amazing. I'm introducing you to tier list. This is fantastic. This is how all the cheeky YouTubers get all their views.
Got it. Just making lists.
Yes, people love lists.
I love it. It's true. All right.
Let's go next up. I saw this movie in theaters. I don't know if you did.
What is it?
Sausage Party. Just the entirety of Sausage Party.
Is it funny or good? I trust your judgment. I like the animation.
It being funny. I remember it being funny in 2016. I also remember it scarring me for life the last 5 minutes of it. No joke, the last 5 minutes of this movie after they've killed all the people, all the humans, is just 5 straight minutes of a food orgy. Just all the food having sex with each other.
Well, so where are you going to put that?
It's a complicated thing for me.
It sounds cool.
It was cool. I'm probably going to put it
Let's do C. That's average.
Let's do C.
Right?
Let's do C.
Fair.
Because I also know that Seth Rogen directed and wrote the movie, and I heard that the animation people were not very happy with him. People abusing animation people. I'm shocked and appalled. I've never heard of such a thing.
Got it. Yeah, I'm fair with the C.
This one is this character doesn't even have a name. The girl who made out with a hot dog in Mean Girls.
I haven't seen that either.
I
Is that
am
bad?
0 for 3 right now. This is not going
Is
great.
that really bad? Well, there's like two I recognize, so it should be, or well, three. We're good.
All right, all right, all right.
I I mean, like I've heard like the quotes, the big quotes everyone says. It's a good movie from what I hear. But if it's like minor, maybe we put it at C also.
I think we can put this one at C as well.
I don't mean to. What do you think? I don't want to. We can make it a team effort.
I think I would probably put it in B.
Let's do
I
B.
think because it's such an iconic line, but because it is like a bit part, I think it could go in B as well.
Sure.
Because
Let's
I
do
want
B.
but yeah.
Because it would really be offensive to the hot dog movie if they were
Yes,
together. You know what I
definitely.
mean?
I would say so too. Um this is a I'm just going to go through the ones that I think you might not know at
I
this
don't know
point.
that one. Yeah, I like the
So
artwork though.
this is the Halloweener. It was a children's book written by Dave Pilkey, who was the guy who made Captain Underpants.
Oh, sick. Cool.
This is a book that my family used to read to me when I was a kid, so we're gonna have
Okay.
to put that one
You're an S.
automatically in
Yeah,
S.
cool. Perfect. I'm cool with that.
Shout out to Dan and Gail, Mama and
Nice.
Papa Cuddlepunk.
Nice.
Are you proud that this is what your daughter is doing?
I know Joey Chestnut, not personally.
Joey motherfucking Chestnut. I think
Worry.
he has to go in S.
I agree. I agree.
If there is a real life human being who is a legend of hot dogs,
The hot dog scene. Yeah.
it would have to be Joey.
Agree.
Like, there's no other way to do it.
Totally. It's really his world.
Slimer's
Um,
iconic hot dog eating scene from Ghostbusters.
uh, haven't seen it, but I give it an
I
A.
also have not seen Ghostbusters, so we're
Perfect.
together there.
I like his vibe. A's good.
It's a good vibe. I have not seen Ghostbusters. I've not seen the original Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters 2. I saw Ghostbusters 2016, the all-female one, twice in theaters, and I didn't even like it that much.
Oh, damn. I was gonna ask if it was good.
It
Sounds
was
cool.
good. It was good. It was not worth the fucking hate that people were like
Sure.
dogpiling onto it.
Sure.
God, 2016. I think we're down to our heavy hitters right now.
Yeah, totally.
Sonic the
I like
Hedgehog
Sonic.
and his chili
I'm a fan.
dogs.
I'm cool with A for that, or even S,
I
or
think
or B.
I think
I
A.
played
I
Sega a
think
lot.
A. You
Cool.
play what a lot?
Sega.
Hell yeah.
Sega. The that's what it's called, right?
Yeah. You were on the original like Genesis games and everything.
Yes, Genesis. That's right. Yes.
That's fucking sick. That's awesome. Now, I love that. So the thing with the chili dogs is that it started off in like the Jaleel White Urkel Sonic cartoon from the 90s. And then
Gotcha.
it became such a meme that they started putting it in the games. Like in Sonic and the
Nice.
Black Knight, chili dogs just rain from the ceiling. It's very fucking funny.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I like
The
that.
Sonic games get fucking weird as shit.
Sure. That's got to be
The
S, right?
the Oscar
The,
Mayer Wienermobile has to be S.
yeah, I still have my whistle somewhere.
That's
I don't know.
fucking sick. You've been to the Wienermobile in that case.
When I
You've
was a
like
kid, I
actually
think somehow the whistle made it to me more recently. I don't remember who gave it to me, but
I've never witnessed it in person. I want to very badly.
yeah,
And
they don't
then
sound good, but it's fine.
and then of course, like this one has to be in it. This is yours, and I'm not
Yeah.
letting you vote on this one. This is going in S tier. It's one of my favorite Riot Fest moments of all
Thank you.
time is
Yeah,
seeing all
me
those
too.
people just be so dedicated to the thing.
We
This
should
is
try
a
to
good look.
get Joey Chestnut to the next corn dog
Yes.
pit.
Yes. Oh my god. Fucking Sincere Engineer plays the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on Coney Island
There's yep.
on the 4th of July, and Joey comes out and just eats even more hot dogs while you guys are
That's
performing. I think that's perfect.
there's something there for sure.
There's definitely
That's
something
awesome.
there. That
That was fun.
is Deanna. Thank you so much for being on this episode of the Cuddlepunk podcast. Where can we find you?
At Sincere Engineer on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. There's a Discord. If any of y'all are into Discord, I'm like in it every day, and we got a really good group of people. And yeah, there's like links to that on all the socials and stuff. Thank you for having me. This was super fun.
Thank you so much for coming on. This was awesome. I'll be leaving
Of course.
links to all of that in the description down below. You can also find
Amazing.
links to all of my stuff in the description down below. You can find video versions of the Cuddlepunk podcast on YouTube or audio versions anywhere you get your podcast. If you like what you
Pop on
saw
moment.
below, please leave a comment telling us what your favorite iconic hot dog pop culture moment is. If you liked it, please like the video. Please subscribe on audio or video platforms. If you like what you see and you want to help see more, you can subscribe to the Cuddlepunk Podcast Patreon. You can get a bunch of cool stuff for either $3 or $5 a month. The logo for the Cuddlepunk Podcast is done by Lauren Young. You can find her Instagram down in the description. The theme song for the Cuddlepunk Podcast is Lose a Turn by Modify. You can find all of her stuff in the description down below. Deanna, thank you so much for being on this episode.
No problem. Thank you so much. Have a good one.